Our next guest, an Academy Award-winning actor starring in a new film entitled Jersey Boys, based on the musical currently in production here on Broadway in the great New York City, the town so nice they named it twice.
There you know it.
You can see the film beginning June 20th. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Christopher Walken.
Cause his name is Walken. We got to play his walk on. Cause his name is Walken. We got to play his walk on.
How are you? Good. Good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. I believe, we've talked about this before, but I'm going to repeat myself. The first time you entered my awareness of film actors and movie stars and things like that was a relatively small part you played in a film called Annie Hall.
Right.
And I ended up seeing that film 5 or 6 times, and I could never wait for your scene when you call Woody Allen into your room to explain to him trouble you have driving at night sometimes. It was delightful.
Yeah, it's a great movie. I watch it, and it's always a great movie. You know, when we shot that scene, we did it.
How old were you?
No, I was pretty old already, you know. I was probably 35, but we shot the scene and we shot it my way. And he was there and in the doorway, and we finished, and I said to him, can I help Danny do anything? He said, it's okay, you can go home.
That was it?
Yeah. So his response, is I had no idea until I saw the movie that he was talking about, going to the moon or whatever it is.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Here's my memory of it, and forgive me if this is you're tired of talking about this, but this really meant a great deal to me at the time. You played Dwayne or something?
Dwayne.
Yeah, and you're Annie Hall's brother. Yeah, and your job is going to be to drive Woody Allen back to the airport, and you confess to Woody, and it's a rainy, dark night, and you confess to Woody that sometimes you have to fight the urge when you're driving the car to keep from just turning into oncoming traffic.
Yes.
And.
Not good.
No, not. And that's when he says, I think it's time for me to return to my own planet, or something like that.
You don't want your driver to say that.
No, you don't want to say that. But anyway, nice to see you, and congratulations on the Jersey Boys. How's that going? Are you excited about that?
Well, it's going to open soon, and I hope it does good. Now, see, I think, and everybody thinks that everybody in show business knows everybody else. I was surprised to learn that you had not spent much time, if any time, with Clint Eastwood, who's directing this movie. No, I didn't know him, and months before, when I had the script, and my agent would say, Clint is calling you this week, wants to just say hello, and I never spoke to him. Then I got to the set, and I met him, and he said hello, and then I went to work, and that was it. But he's very nice, and he's very organized, and it was a pleasure.
You may be sitting at home asking yourself, would I be right for a talk show? But you guys went to the premiere together, and you're on the red carpet together. Now, that to me, that's Hollywood, that's show business. Christopher Walken, for God's sakes, and Clint Eastwood, and that must have been craziness, right?
It was. And you know, I don't think that anybody but an actor or somebody in a movie would understand that thing of flash bulbs going over. You stand there and these bulbs, the flashes going over, you can't see anything. And I said to him, I can't see anything. and he said, I can't see anything anyway.
I know that feeling.
And I realized, you know, that I can't see anything anyway.
Yeah.
So when you get to be a certain age, you can't see anything.
Yeah. Were you here for a stand-up, guys? Was it the last time you were here?
It was a while ago.
Yeah, boy, I enjoyed that film a great deal.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah.
Al Pacino, and, Alan Arkin.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. We'll be right back with Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken, everyone. Let's
Paul.
How are you?
Paul.
It's Jip DiCarlo from the movie. That's right. I recognize you're a scary cat, man.
You tell us a story about Marlon Brando. Everybody, well, at a certain point, a lot of people knew him, and now it's dwindling. Not so many people worked with him, knew him.
Okay, I'm trying to make it in a nutshell, but I didn't know him, but
You know,
I was...
you don't have to keep it in a nutshell.
But I was making a movie, and I was in the middle of nowhere. They had this, and it was my day off.
You were in Nova Scotia.
Yes. I was kind of in the woods, and it was my day off. I'm sitting there, and the phone rang, and a woman said, Chris Walken, are you going to be there for the next 10 minutes? Mr. Brando would like to speak to you, and I thought it was a joke. And I hung up the phone. A minute later, I picked it up, and it was obviously him. Nobody could do it that good, you know. And this was in the 90s when people were putting cameras in their house. It was kind of the beginning of the internet, beginning of reality. People would put cameras.
That's right. I remember there's a big deal. There was a woman who had a camera, and you could go on the internet and watch her 24 hours
exactly.
a day. Yep, long time ago.
So he said, you're in a movie called Pennies from Heaven. He said, I want to put cameras in my house. I want to do a musical variety show. Oh, he said to me, you know, I play the piano. I said, no, I didn't know. And I danced. And then he told me the teachers he'd been, and I knew them. And he wanted to do a musical variety show from his house. And he'd be the host. and he'd have guests, and he would do numbers with them and stuff. And I said, hey, I'm going to watch that.
Yes. Well, yeah. Yeah.
And he said, you did this movie, Pennies from Heaven, and I want to get in touch with the choreographer, a man named Danny Daniels, who I knew, and he was one of my tap teachers when I was a kid. And I said, I'm going to get in touch with him. I'm going to have him get back to you. But that's something we all missed, I think, that show.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting. One, that was your entree to show business. You were a dancer.
Yeah.
You were a dancer. And still dance, I'm guessing. If we need a dancer, you could dance, right?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
It's not exactly like riding a bike.
No.
Well, it's not that you forget, it's that you just can't do it.
Can't do it anymore, yeah. I have that problem in another arena of life.
You should have done it.
But do you have anything loaded up, like for the 10, 15 seconds of a dance you could do, or is that just completely off the
No,
cuff? I know I'm putting you.
No, I only dance sitting down now. But, you know, we all know that in that famous show where Elvis made a scandal in 1954, I
That's
think,
right.
we're right there. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, more or less, right over there, yeah. And also, you mentioned Pennies from Heaven. I think Steve Martin was in that film.
Yes.
And it was a remake of a British television show. Am I right about that?
Yes.
Yeah, it was quite an elaborate, beautifully done motion picture.
That's right.
Yeah. Let's look at a clip here. This is Jersey Boys, and everybody has seen the musical. It's still 5 years in production, still going strong. The Surrey Frankie Valley and the Four Seasons, and now you can also go see it in a theater June 20th. Let's take a clip here. You know it's going to be, Christopher? You know the...
I don't know.
Don't know. Well, who doesn't love a surprise? It needs a guy like that. Christopher Walken. Always a pleasure, my friend. Thank you very much. We'll be right back with Audra McDonald, everybody.